So good afternoon to everyone. Right?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
afternoon, sir.
afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. So I have an announcement for you. So tomorrow 10 o'clock class. Actually, the timetable is for Mageshwar Reddy, sir. But instead of him, I will take the class. Right? So you kindly log over to my login ID. Tomorrow 10 o'clock is your these electrical machines 1. Okay. Okay, but can you able to understand? Tomorrow 10 o'clock, you kindly log into my Zoom ID. Okay, so I will take the electrical machines. Right? So this is the so if you have any queries, you just unmute yourself and you can ask. Right? Right. So this is our first lab. Right? So this is our first lab. So in this laboratory class, so now I want to tell you what are the experiments are there. Right? So now we are going to do the experiment in virtual laboratory. We are going to do our experiments in our virtual laboratory. So before going to a virtual laboratory, we want to know what are the experiments are there, right? So I just show you what are the experiments are there here. Right. So coming to our experiments, right? Coming to a list of experiments. So this is our experiment, right? So first is our OCC test, that is open circuit characteristics of a DC shunt generator, right? And second one is the load test on DC shunt generator. And third one is the test for, that is a brake test on shunt motor and compound motor. And fourth one is speed control. And fifth one, Sumpens test, Hopkinson's electrical braking, and then OCSC for transformer and separation of losses for a single phase transformer, Sumpens test, right? And then parallel operation of a single phase transformer followed by the Scott connection, right? So all these 12 experiments, we are going to do only 10 experiments, right? So which are better easy, we will prefer that, right? Okay, now we will go to our section. Right. Now in this today's class, we are going to discuss about a experiment on the load characteristics of DC shunt generator, right? We are going to discuss our load characteristics of DC shunt generator, right? So this is our load characteristics of DC shunt generator, right? Now, so before going to this experiment, we want to know some of the theory concept of the generator, followed by the what is DC generator, and then followed by what is DC shunt generator, right? So after knowing all those things only, we can go for the load characteristics of a DC shunt generator, right? Now, right. So now here, what I'm going to do here is, so we all know the basic principle of generator is a device, right? So we are giving an input to a device and we are going to take an output from the device, right? And I'm going to name this device as a generator, right? I'm going to name this device as a generator. And what is the input for the generator here? And the input for the generator will be the mechanical input. Is the mechanical input, and the output will be electrical in the form of DC. The output will be electrical in the form of DC, right? Now, Then what is this shunt generator? Right? We want to know what is shunt generator, right? So shunt means what? Parallel, right? So the basic representation of a generator is the circle. The basic representation of a generator is the circle, and this generator, and this one be the brushes, right? This one be the brushes. So now I am going to connect a winding, right? I am going to connect a winding, right? In parallel to the armature, in parallel to the armature, right? I'm going to connect a winding in parallel to the armature, right? So this one be the armature and this one be the field winding, right? So the important characteristics of this field winding, the important characteristics of this field winding is we are having more number of turns, right? The number of turns, the number of turns is high, right? The number of turns is higher, but thickness of this winding is less. Thickness is less, right? And then the resistance value is high when compared to the armature winding, right? Hello? Is there is any doubt? You can unmute yourself and you can ask me. Right, okay. Okay, we will continue, right? So the field winding is in parallel to the armature winding, right? Now the title is said to be as load characteristics. So definitely we want to connect a load here, right? So to connect a load, I just connecting the load in parallel to the armature. I just connect a load in parallel to the armature. So this one be the load, right? Now the generator is now producing the current. The generator is now producing the current. So the total current is here. So this one is said to be as the armature current. The current is produced here and that is armature current. And this armature current is now splitted into two. One is the current that is flowing through the shunt winding. Another one is the current which is flowing through the load. So it is IL, right? So here we have a point here, right? The point here is the resistance value is high. The resistance value is high for this shunt winding. So it is indirectly mentioning that the current which is flowing through this shunt winding is less. The current which is flowing through the shunt winding is less while compared to the load, while compared to the load current. So the equation is termed as IA is see. So this is depend upon your current division rule, which you study in your circuit theory, right? So depend upon the current division rule, the total current IA is split into two. One is I SH plus IL. So here the load current value will be higher, whereas the shunt current value will be lesser. The reason I already mentioned, right? The reason why the shunt current is very less because it is having a high resistance value. The winding which is made up of a high resistance value. So that's the reason why we are getting a lesser value of shunt current, right? Now, now the next one is okay. So next one. So from this load characteristics, what we are going to be identify and what we are going to study from this load characteristics. So that we want to know, right? So we are going to discuss about our internal and external characteristics. So what is this internal characteristics and what is this external characteristics, right? So that we want to have a clear idea what is the what are the plots between the internal characteristics and what are the plot between the external characteristics. So the internal plot, right? The internal plot is nothing but it is a plot between the load current as well as the generator voltage. It is a plot between the load current, right? It is the it is a plot between the load current it is a plot between the load current and the generator voltage, right? So here be the generator voltage. And this one is said to be as the internal characteristics, right? And this one is said to be as the internal characteristics. Now, with the basic idea, we are going to draw a plot here, right? So the ideal plot. Now I am not going to consider any losses because in previous we discussed that the winding is having some resistance. The winding is having higher resistance, whereas the armature winding is having a less resistance, followed by we are connecting a load, right? So the load also will default to have a resistance here, right? So all the things are having a resistance value, but I am not going to consider the resistance value here, right? So without considering the resistance value, I just going to have a plot, right? I just going to have a plot here, right? And that I consider to be as the ideal plot, right? So this one is said to be as the ideal plot, ideal. That is no losses. There is no losses. So I am just considering as an ideal plot. Now I want to draw the exact graph. I want to draw an exact graph for this internal characteristics. So if I draw the exact characteristics, I would like to get a graph like this. I'm getting a graph which is slightly lesser than the ideal characteristics, right? So I was thinking what is the reason for this? Then I found that the reason for this drooping characteristics. So drooping means nothing but a lesser value. Drooping means reducing a lesser value. So we say as a drooping characteristics. And this drooping characteristics is due to a armature reaction. Armature reaction because we are connecting a load here. We are connecting a load. So definitely if you are connecting a load, there will be a armature reaction. Then we want to know what is this armature reaction, right? We want to know what is this armature reaction. It is nothing but an interaction of the armature flux or we can say the interaction between the armature and main field flux is said to be as the armature reaction, right? Otherwise, we can simply say the interaction between the stator flux and the rotor flux in the air gap is said to be as the armature reaction. So, okay, armature reaction can be taking place. Then why this drooping characteristics is occurring in the internal characteristics of a DC generator, right? So, if we look onto this deeply, then we will get an idea, right? So the idea here, I just considering a rotor here. I just considering a rotor. And then now I just going to draw a stator here, which is having a two pole, right? It is a two pole here, right? Now I just going to consider a conductors. I just going to consider a conductors. Right? I am just considering a conductors here. Now, in the mean way, and this field is now wounded, right? And this main field is wounded with some coils and it is excited so that the current also it is flowing. So that the current also it is flowing, right? Now I just consider this one as a north pole and this one as a south pole. So what happens generally, the direction of current is flowing from north pole to south pole. The direction of current is flowing from north pole to south pole. So I just mention the direction of current here, right? Now I want to know the direction of the current which is flowing in the armature of a rod generator, armature of a generator. So since it is a north pole, I just consider this one as the current which is going inward. So I just make it as a cross, right? I make it as a cross. So when the load is connected, when the load is connected, what happens? Definitely there is a flow of current here. Definitely there is a flow of current, right? So for better clarity, I use different colors, right? So definitely there is a flow of current here, right? And here also, right? So I consider the current is flowing downwards, right? And here also it is downwards. When it is coming up into the conductor, it is flowing in the upward direction, right? Similarly, here also it is flowing in the upward direction. Now, if you look on deeper, if you look on deeper into the armature, that is a red color magnetic field lines. The current is moving from north pole to south pole. That is the flux is moving from north pole to south pole. And then while coming to the direction of current here. So in this region also the current is moving from north pole to south pole. So these two in the same direction. These two in the same direction. So what happens? The flux here gets more, right? The flux at this region gets more. Whereas when you come here at this region, at the bottom post region, the current is entering in this manner, right? Whereas the flux is traveling from north pole to south pole. So these two direction is in opposite. So these two flux will get reduced or it will become a minimum value. So what happens? So similarly here, this one becomes a more value and this one becomes a lesser value, right? So due to this, what happens? The magnitude of the flux gets reduced. The magnitude of the flux gets reduced. So due to the reduction in the magnitude of flux, so that is why we are getting a internal voltage is lesser than the ideal condition, right? So this is said to be as the basics of the armature reaction. So generally just remember armature reaction is nothing but the interaction between the armature flux and the main feed flux in the air gap. So that is said to be as the armature reaction, right? So now, if I want to plot a graph for the external characteristics. If you want to plot a graph for external characteristics, so what are the parameters that I needed, right? So the x-axis remains same. The x-axis remains same. So the x-axis be the load current, but whereas the y-axis is changing. The y-axis is changing. The y-axis should be terminal voltage. The y-axis should be terminal voltage for the external characteristics. The y-axis should be terminal voltage for the external characteristics. Now, there are also some effects we want to discuss. There are also some effects we want to discuss. The effect here is if I plotting the characteristics, if I plot a characteristics with respect to the load current as well as the terminal voltage, with respect to the load current and the terminal voltage. So what I identified here is I just identify a graph which is lesser value than the internal characteristics, which is a lesser value than the internal characteristics. So now again I want to know why this drooping characteristics is occurring once again, right? So if I investigate, I found that due to the resistance available in the load, due to the resistance available in the load, there is a dropping here. So that's why we are taking as a ohmic drop. We consider this one as a ohmic drop, right? Now, again, what happens? If you further increase, the load, if you further increase the load beyond this instant, if you further increase the load beyond this instant, what happens? The process gets reversed. The process gets reversed. So if you increase the load, what happens? The load actually to increase. If you increase the load current also has to be increased. But here what happens? If you increase beyond this limit, so I just consider this point as C and this point as B and this point as A, right? So if I increase the load beyond this point C, what happens? Actually, it should increase after this region. Like this, it has to follow. But due to the practical effect and due to the resistance of the load, what happens? It is reducing. This one is reducing and reaches a value to zero value of load current drastically. Suddenly it becomes to zero, right? And that's why we are saying that we want to operate the DC generator only up to this level, only up to this terminal voltage, right? And the load current should be of this terminal voltage, right? So at this instant, that is at point C, at this instant of point C, what is happening there, right? So that we want to identify, right? So at the instant of point C, what is happening? Some magical thing is happening there, right? So due to the effect of the resistance in the load, due to the effect of the resistance in the loads, this drooping characteristics is occur, right? Such that the resistance value becomes lesser, right? At this instant, the resistance value will become less, right? That is what resistance? The resistance of the load, right? The resistance of the load become lesser, right? So that is why we are getting a drooping characteristics like this, right? So if you somebody is asking what is the internal characteristics, then we want to say internal characteristics, it is a plot between the generated voltage as well as the load current, right? Now, what is the external characteristics? The external characteristics is a plot between the terminal voltage as well as the load current, right? Now, suppose if they ask, then tell me the relation between relation. What is the voltage relation here, right? Suppose if anybody asks like that, so what will be our answer? So we all know V equal to EG, right? We are know V equal to Eg minus Ia R A. V equal to Eg minus Ia Ra. Since it is a shunt generator, in previously I just mentioned Ia is equal to ISH plus IL. Ia is equal to ISH plus IL. So the voltage is becoming like this, right? So V equal to Eg minus ISH plus IL, right? Where ISH is the shunt winding current and IL is the load current, right? So multiplied by the armature resistance, right? So this is the final equation for the internal for the load characteristics, right? The again the another one important point here, the ohmic drop due to the armature resistance gives a lesser terminal voltage, right? So the conclusion here is the ohmic drop due to the armature resistance gives the lesser terminal voltage, right? See here, so if I operating the machine here at this point, so what happens to the terminal voltage? The terminal voltage is higher when compared to this point, right? Suppose if I operate the machine at this instant, right? So what happens? The terminal voltage is reduced. The terminal voltage is reduced, followed by the current also is now increasing. See, if you compare these two, consider this one as I1 and consider this one as I2 and consider this one as V1 and this one as V2, right? So if you are operating a machine with a value of higher generator voltage, then automatic higher terminal voltage, then what happens? The load current will be lesser, right? So that's the conclusion which depends upon the ohmic drop, right? Now, so so then how to maintain this value? How to maintain this point C, right? Because if you operate the machine beyond this point C, what happens? The machine characteristics is drastically vary, is drastically reduced here, right? So in order to avoid all those things, what we want to do, we want to connect a resistance. We want to connect a resistive field rheostat. We want to connect a field rheostat, right? So by connecting a field rheostat, we can be able to adjust the value of the terminal voltage, right? So that's why we want to know that the importance of the load characteristics of the DC shunt generator, right? So coming to the simulations, coming to the simulations, so we just go to our virtual laboratory. We just go to our virtual laboratory, which is formed by the IIT Roorkee, right? Which is developed by the IIT Roorkee, and there we can be able to find the electrical machines laboratory. We can be able to find the electrical machines laboratory here with, see, I will open one second for you. So how to open this, right? So VARTUAL, virtual labs, electrical machines. right? You just go on to the first one, right? I just cited the first one, electrical engineering, which was lab. And then here, you just go to the electrical machines lab, new, right? So it will open to our electrical machines. So in that we are having the list of experiments, right? So in that the first one is to study the load characteristics of DC shunt generator, right? So if you go to this page, we can able to see the what is the aim. So the aim of our experiment is to discuss about the internal and external characteristics of a DC, sorry, the load characteristics of a DC generator, right? Now go to the simulation. If you go to the simulations, we can able to get a simulation page here. So this one be the new simulation page. Right. So this is a new simulation page available for the load characteristics of a DC shunt generator. So we want to know what are the things available here, right? So this one be our MCB and this one be a starter because our thing is a generator. We want to test the generator with variation in the load. So generator input be the mechanical energy. So this mechanical energy we want to go for a motor. So to drive a motor, since it is a DC motor, there is a requirement of a starter here, right? Right. So we are giving a starter here, right? Now, so how to connect all those things? Just there is an option here as instruction. If you go on, just keep your mouse there. We can able to see some different steps, right? So we will connect the simulation in the following class, right? Because time is running out. We will go to the simulation in the next class. So in this class, we discuss about the what are the basics of the load characteristics of a DC shunt generator, right? So the theory concept we covered in today's class, and the simulation and the discussion of the graph for the simulation that we will see in the next class, right? So thank you for everyone. And then the I remember the circular here for you. That is tomorrow's morning 10 o'clock class, which is for the our Maheshwar Reddy sir will be taken by me. So kindly you log on to my login ID, right? So thank you for everyone be joining here. Be safe.